Blame is the last refuge of a dying man. It's the anthem of the weak, the soft, the broken. The kind of man who would rather point a trembling finger at the world than clench it into a fist and strike back. You want to know what separates a man who commands from one who collapses? It's not money, not status. It's how he handles the fire. When life burns, the weak scream for water. The strong become the flame. I've watched men with gold in their veins crumble because they couldn't take responsibility for their own blood. It was my father's fault. The government failed me. She broke my heart. Pathetic. You think that makes you special? You think pain gives you an excuse? Pain is the entry fee, kid. No one gets through this life clean. But here's the truth most cowards choke on. Your pain is yours. So is your failure. You own it, or it owns you. Every time you blame something outside of yourself, you sell a piece of your soul, a piece of your power. And once enough of those pieces are gone, you're just another hollow man, begging for sympathy in a world that doesn't give a damn. You think the wolves out there care about your sad story? You think they'll stop ripping your throat out because you had a rough childhood? They'll smell that weakness like blood in the water, and they will feast. Blame is a slow death. It doesn't hit you all at once. It creeps in. First, you justify missing a step. Then you excuse a fall. Before long, you're lying face down in your own mess, screaming that the world pushed you. But here's the code real men live by. Everything is your fault, even when it's not, especially when it's not. Because when you claim all of it, you claim the power to fix it, to control it, to rebuild it. The strong man doesn't waste breath on excuses. He's too busy building, brick by bloody brick. While you're still weeping about what went wrong, he's laying the foundation of an empire, quietly, ruthlessly. And don't think the universe will wait for you to man up. It doesn't care. You stall, you blame, good. Someone else takes your place. Someone who didn't flinch, someone who bled and built anyway. Remember this, while you're crying, another man is conquering. While you curse your fate, he's turning his into fortune. That's how it works. It's cold, it's cruel, it's the code. Blame is cancer. You cut it out, or it kills you. Fast or slow, it ends the same. Buried beneath excuses, forgotten, weak, there's a kind of man who wakes up in pain and still pours concrete, who buries his grief under floorboards and keeps hammering. He doesn't announce his suffering. He doesn't ask for applause. He just builds. That, my friend, is the architect's mind, cold, deliberate, unshakable. You see, most men, when wounded, collapse. They think the pain means pause. They treat hardship like a red light. But real men, they treat pain like a signal. Not to stop, but to sharpen, to tighten their grip, not loosen it. Because they understand life doesn't slow down for your wounds. It doesn't care that you're tired, that you're hurt, that you're grieving. It just keeps moving. And if you're not moving with it, you're already dead weight. There's a reason architects don't scream while they design. Builders don't whine while they work. Power is quiet. Discipline is silent. The man who complains is broadcasting to the world, I am not ready. I am not built for this. And the world listens. It punishes him accordingly. You want to know the truth most people choke on? Everyone is bleeding, some from heartbreak, some from loss, some from betrayal. But the strong, they don't wear their wounds on their sleeves. They bury them in the foundation. They turn every cut into a cornerstone. You ever hear about the men who built cathedrals with their bare hands? They didn't stop when the rain came, when the stones crushed fingers, when the pay never arrived. They built anyway, because they knew they were shaping something greater than comfort, something eternal. That's what it means to be a man who builds while bleeding. You work through betrayal, through humiliation, through chaos. You don't wait for calm skies. You build in the storm. That's what makes the structure indestructible, because it was forged in hell. And let me make something clear. There will never be a perfect time. No clear path, no green light. The man waiting for clarity is already behind. The architect doesn't wait. He decides, he acts, and he adjusts mid-construction. He knows even flawed progress beats perfect hesitation. It's not about feeling ready. It's about being willing to hurt, to bleed, to sweat in silence while the world laughs, doubts, mocks. Because that silence, that's your domain. That's where your power grows. Every day you build through pain, your enemies get quieter, your demons get smaller, your future gets stronger. Most men will never taste that. They'll crack at the first sign of pressure because they never learned to honor the work more than their wounds. But not you. Not if you're listening. Not if you understand that a broken man can still lay bricks, that shaking hands can still sign blueprints, that a bleeding heart still pumps enough blood to finish the job. And when it's done, when the last stone is set and the structure stands, you don't need to scream, "Look at me." The silence will speak for you. The empire will echo your name louder than any excuse ever could. You ever see a man lose everything? I mean everything. His name, his woman, his crew, his money. Wiped out like a chalk drawing in the rain. I knew a man like that once, old school, the kind they don't make anymore. When the walls came down on him, they didn't just crack, they collapsed. But he didn't make a sound. He didn't curse God or fate or the rats who sold him out. He just lit a cigarette, looked at the wreckage and said, "Time to rebuild." That's what separates kings from corpses. The man who rebuilds in silence, with no one cheering, no one helping, just him, the bricks, and the blood. You think power is pretty? You think it's delivered in envelopes or earned with hashtags and hustle culture speeches? Let me tell you what it really costs. Power demands sacrifice. It demands suffering. It doesn't knock. It breaks your door down at midnight and says, "Prove you're worthy." And if you flinch, if you hesitate, even once, it leaves. And it doesn't come back. You want to build something real? Something unshakable? Then you better be prepared to pay in blood. Your own first. And then everyone else's who stands in your way. The man I told you about, he started with nothing but a broken reputation and debts that could bury a city. No allies, no second chances. He built again from the dirt, like a ghost, silent, unseen, surgical. He didn't post updates. He didn't explain himself. He just worked like a man who knew the world owed him nothing, but feared what he would become. And brick by brutal brick, he rose. The same people who laughed, who whispered, who counted him out. They started calling him boss again, but he never smiled. He knew respect earned in blood is the only kind that lasts. That's what you need to understand. If you're not willing to suffer for your legacy, you don't deserve one. The man who wants comfort will always bow to the man who can endure chaos. That's the law. You're not here to be understood. You're here to build. And sometimes that means being the villain in someone else's story while becoming the architect of your own. It means getting your hands dirty, doing what others won't, bleeding quietly while the weak watch from the sidelines. The concrete of power is mixed with betrayal, loss, regret. But if you pour it right, if you lay it while everyone else sleeps, you build something eternal, something unbreakable. You don't need applause. You need results. You don't need pity. You need bricks. You don't need anyone's permission to rise, just the will to keep laying stone, even when every part of you screams to quit. The price of power is not paid once. It's paid every day, in silence, in sacrifice, in solitude. And only the few who accept that ever truly rule. There's a test most men never take, not because it's complicated, but because it's honest, brutally honest. It doesn't need paperwork or witnesses. It needs one thing, a mirror, not the kind in your bathroom, not the one you flex in for validation. I'm talking about the real one, the silent one, the one that stares back at you late at night when there's no music, no screen, no distraction. Just you and the truth. You want to measure a man's strength? Forget his car, forget his job title, forget the lies he tells the world. Put him alone in front of that mirror and see if he flinches, because most do. They glance, but they don't look. They see the beard, the tattoos, the fake bravado, but they avoid the eyes. You know why? Because the eyes don't lie. The eyes remember every excuse, every failure, every betrayal of self. You can deceive the world. You can impress strangers. You can even fool your own family. But that man in the mirror? He knows. He knows when you quit. He knows when you bowed your head instead of raising your fists. He knows the truth you buried beneath your justifications, and you hate him for it. There's a moment, usually late when the world's quiet, when the real you comes out. And in that stillness, in that raw silence, you realize no enemy has ever been as ruthless to you as you. That's the real war, not the haters, not society, not your past. The war is between the man you are and the man you pretend to be. But here's the part no one tells you. The mirror can destroy you, or it can resurrect you. If you face it head on, if you meet that gaze without flinching, you reclaim something, your dignity, your control, your fire. And once you do that, the world stops being a threat. Because once you've faced yourself, no man can scare you. But most can't handle that. They keep running. They drown in distractions, alcohol, sex, noise, dopamine. They chase escapes instead of chasing growth. Because growth is painful. Growth shows you who you really are before it shows you who you could become. You ever see a man lie to himself? It's pitiful. He'll say he's trying when he's coasting. Say he's building when he's stalling. Say he's healing when he's hiding. And the mirror watches silently. It doesn't argue. It just waits for the day you can't lie anymore. Every man has to take the mirror test eventually. Either you confront it, or you die a stranger to yourself. You die full of regrets and fake victories. You die with a resume and a reputation, but no identity. And worse, your sons carry that shame because men don't pass down words. They pass down wounds. The only way out is through the mirror, through the truth, through the fire of facing the man you've avoided for years. And if you do it right, if you don't flinch, don't blink, don't run, you'll meet someone terrifying and beautiful. The real you, the one built for war, the one who doesn't need praise or pity, the one who builds in silence, bleeds with pride, and never, never points the finger outward. Look into the mirror. Don't speak, just stare. And if the man looking back is still making excuses, break it. You want mercy? You're in the wrong world. Out here, there's no soft landing, no warm applause for effort, no prize for intention. There is only what gets done and what gets erased. And the path, it doesn't care about your plans. It doesn't ask if you're ready. It moves forward like a war machine. Either you keep up or you get crushed. That's the truth, unfiltered, unsentimental, unforgiving. I've seen men with potential rot in place because they waited for things to feel right. They waited for clarity, for timing, for support. You know what happened? While they waited, someone else built. While they hesitated, someone else conquered. And now, they're dust under someone else's empire. That's the rule. You build, or you're buried. There is no middle ground. You either pick up the tools and carve your place into this world, or you become the concrete beneath the boots of better men. No excuses, no pity. The path only respects movement, cold, relentless, forward movement. You think this world will pause for you? You think it'll feel bad for your story? Listen to me. The path is deaf. It doesn't hear tears. It doesn't hear prayers. It hears results. And if you don't deliver them, you disappear. A man doesn't rise by asking. He rises by taking, by earning, by bleeding on the stones and forging a path where none existed. That's what it means to be a builder. You create meaning in a place that tried to erase you. You build not because it's noble, but because it's necessary. And if you ever stop, if you ever drop your tools, if you ever pause too long, the ground starts to pull you in. First slowly, then permanently. Because the world doesn't hold your spot. The moment you stop building, someone else takes your place. And you become part of the floor beneath their throne. This path will ask for everything, your time, your peace, your comfort. And in return, it gives you one thing, immortality, but only if you earn it. Only if your bricks outlast your breath. Only if your work speaks louder than your name. Because when you're gone, the world won't remember what you said. It will remember what you built. Or worse, it won't remember you at all. So here's your choice. It's not poetic. It's not motivational. It's just real. Building or be buried. That's it. No more delays. No more doubts. Pick up the stone.